Did the Vatican just release the first documentary on Pope Leo XIV? Is Hollywood about to make a theologically realistic exorcism film? Were 30 Christians just killed by a suicide bomber in Syria? All this and more brought to you today by Church Headlines. Hello and welcome to Church Headlines, your regular Catholic news recap. I'm Brother Darius Lawrence and I'm happy to have you here for our latest episode. Before we get started, don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button to stay up to date with the Catholic world. Now, let's dive right in. The Vatican has just released a new documentary about Pope Leo XIV, and it's free to stream. Titled simply Leo of Peru, the film highlights the Pope's early years as a missionary priest in Peru, offering rare archival footage and interviews with people who knew him before his rise to the papacy. The 45-minute documentary was produced by Vatican Media and is available on YouTube with subtitles in multiple languages. Viewers can get a glimpse into the humility, grit, and spiritual leadership that shaped the man who now leads the global church. Last week, over 120 members of parliaments from around the world met in Rome for the second parliamentary conference on interfaith dialogue. The event was hosted by the Interparliamentary Union and the Parliament of Italy, and it took the Catholic Jubilee motto, Pilgrims of Hope, as its theme. What was the purpose of the conference? To promote interreligious dialogue and shared moral principles in the public square. There were lawmakers from almost 100 countries, as well as religious leaders, UN officials, and international experts, all representing a variety of faiths. At a time of much global conflict and polarization, these moments of interreligious dialogue and the desire for peace are very important symbols for society. In a significant moment for Vatican-China relations, the Chinese government has officially recognized Bishop Lin Yuntuan as the auxiliary bishop of Fuzhou, Pope Leo XIV's first episcopal appointment in China. Bishop Lin had already been ordained in 2017, and up until now had been ministering without state approval as part of the underground church in China. His official approval by the Chinese government is a positive sign of growing collaboration between Rome and Beijing under their provisional agreement for the appointment of bishops. The news comes as a relief, above all for the Catholic community in Fujian, which has lived under decades of semi-clandestine service. Hollywood just brought the most documented exorcism in U.S. history to theaters, this time with theological guidance from Catholic priests. The ritual is based on real events from the 1928 exorcism of Emma Schmidt in Erling, Iowa. The film stars Al Pacino, and unlike many other exorcism films, this one really tries to be faithful to reality. Father Aaron Williams, the pastor of the Basilica of St. Mary, where parts of the movie were filmed, collaborated with the Hollywood professionals to make sure the film is spiritually accurate. For Father Williams, what was most important is that people leave the theater not just thinking about demons, but reflecting on the fact that God's mercy and power is stronger than anything the devil can do. The world's oldest continually operating monastery, St. Catherine's in Egypt's Sinai Peninsula, is at the center of a legal dispute. An Egyptian judge has issued a decision that in the long term could lead to the expropriation of certain properties and the eviction of the monastic community, even though the Greek Orthodox Church has maintained the monastery since the 6th century. The monastery, built at the foot of Mount Sinai where Moses received the Ten Commandments, holds deep historical and religious significance for Christianity, Islam, and Judaism alike. The conflict has prompted alarm from religious leaders and scholars worldwide. A devastating suicide bombing struck a Greek Orthodox church in Damascus, Syria during Sunday liturgy, killing 25 people and injuring 63 more, according to local authorities and international reports. The attacker entered the church where he opened fire on the faithful before detonating an explosive vest. While no group has yet claimed responsibility, Syria's interior ministry believes that he was a member of ISIS. The funeral was held a few days later, and in a touching moment, the crowd bearing the coffins of the Syrian martyrs began dancing to celebrate their glorious entrance among the saints in heaven, another sign of the incredible faith and resilience of our brother Christians who live in places of religious violence and persecution. The cast and the crew of The Chosen were welcomed to Vatican City this week for a special screening of one of the episodes of their latest season. The hit television series, which dramatizes the life of Jesus and his disciples, has grown in popularity among Catholic and Protestant audiences alike. Perhaps even more interesting is the fact that over 30% of those who watch The Chosen are not Christians. For the director Dallas Jenkins, the fact that this work is able to introduce the gospel stories to them is one of the most rewarding parts of his work. Jonathan Rumi, who plays Jesus and who is himself Catholic, was grateful for the opportunity to present the latest season in the heart of the Catholic Church. After the screening, the cast took photos in front of St. Peter's Square and talked with fans. Later in the day, they also had a special screening for religious priests and seminarians in a nearby theater, which the cast and crew of the show also attended. On a personal note, some of my friends were able to participate in the screening and actually ended up getting to know some of the producers of the show, and were able to give them a tour of the city the next day. And that wraps up today's edition of Church Headlines. Thank you for joining us as we keep you informed on the latest news from the Catholic world. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to stay connected. Until next time, thank you, and God bless.